What's up, everybody? Listen, glad you're able to make it. Welcome to another episode of Mental Monday. I am your host, Coach Simmons. Listen, we got a special Mother's Day edition. Thank y'all for tuning in. We want to enhance the mothers today. Again, Mental Monday podcast is a podcast where we promote mental coaching for the high achiever. That's the athlete, that's the entrepreneur, that's the business person, that's the professional, whoever it is that find themselves dealing with high pressure situations. We want to cater to you. And as always, I just want to see you better. Most of all, we don't want to just see you go through, we want to see you overcome. So we're going to get right into it. Again, happy Mother's Day. Shout out to my mom, Patricia Simmons, back in Baltimore. I appreciate you. I love you. Shout out to all my aunties, all you guys, my cousins. You all are doing a great job being moms. And where would we be without y'all? So listen, got a good episode today. Again, this is episode 2, the Mother's Day edition. I got a really good special guest. Someone that I am happy to say we grew up. Like, I think we came out of the womb at the same time. But we definitely grew up together. And 45, we the same age. So this should be a great podcast. So without further ado, I want to bring in my sis, Kimberli Gross. What's up, sis?
Whoop, 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 whoop. What's happening? What's
Nothing much.
happening?
How's everything going?
You know what I'm saying? Baltimore is Baltimore.
Okay.
Missing y'all.
Hey.
Come on back.
You know how it is. So listen, I failed to read your bio. So let's talk about Miss Kim real
I
quick.
know. I'm important. Read my bio.
Yeah, I got you. She is a certified grief coach, author, and founder of Celebrate Still Incorporated, a nonprofit created to support people navigating through grief, transitions, and real life challenges. She holds a master's in human service counseling with a focus on trauma and crisis. She's a veteran, licensed minister, a mom of 3. Kimberli brings a powerful blend of lived experiences and professional insight to her work. Through coaching, workshops, and faith based programs, she helps others process pain, reclaim purpose, and find a new way to live fully and honestly. So, again, welcome. Glad you can
Welcome,
join it.
welcome,
And
welcome.
happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Happy
Yes.
Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
I'm a whole mother.
Appreciate what you do. She's a mother of some great children, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So before we get into it, just tell us some more about, what you got going on. As I've already told the people, we literally
You know
grew
what
up
I'm saying?
together. So
I'm important. I got a whole bio out here in these streets.
yeah, you do.
You know
Got
what
a
I'm
whole
saying?
bio.
A whole bio. So first, thank you. I love this podcast. It's so dope. Better. I love it. I
For
want to
sure.
see our people better. So I think that's really cool. So yeah, what do I have going on? I am man, Celebrate Still is like really taking off. It started 5 years ago with just a Mother's Day brunch that I think people came to just because they thought I was nuts and I wanted to, talk about my mother and her not being here. This year marks 21 years of
Yes.
her being gone. Um, but last year we had a hundred attendees. This year I think the guest count is somewhere around like 80-ish.
Okay.
Um, we do a holiday concert. We got workshops, speaking at places. I just picked up another contract with the school to do some team building there with the young
Let's go.
people. So it's really becoming like a thing, a movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm excited about.
So you talk about your movement of celebrate still. Let's go deeper into pretty much how did that turn into purpose? A lot of people we go through stuff and sometimes we'll just take it as, oh, this just happened or that just happened and we move on. But your pain that you went through with the death of your mom, it really birthed something and as you said, it's really going on. Just can you just walk us through that process of what
Yeah,
happened?
yeah, yeah. So celebrate still. I like to say it was birthed through pain, but it's definitely built on love. So my mom passed 21 years ago. Probably those first 5 years were some of the worst years
Mm.
of my life. Like you said, we came out of the womb at the same time. So we're church kids, right?
Yeah.
So you know how that
Grew up in
goes. We
church.
we know how to do all of the churchy things. We know how to say the right scripture at the
Hmm.
right time. We know how to respond the right way. We know how to show up, right? In any kind of situation. When my mother passed away, I want to say I was so unprepared for her leaving, in a number of ways. I wasn't prepared to be an adult. I wasn't prepared to, walk into womanhood. I wasn't prepared to do anything. I was not prepared. I wasn't prepared. We hadn't had those kinds of conversations, and I
Hmm.
never imagined life without her. And so, because I never imagined it, you don't know what to do. So those first 5 years, like, I was just so lost and I was just so broken. And when you have a void and you have pain, you try to fill it. And so I was still going to church. I was still serving. I'm still on the praise team. The Lord is high above the heavens. And probably half the time I was singing that, I was somewhere floating up high above the heavens
Yeah.
with the song.
That's real. I appreciate your
So, and
transparency.
I mean, yeah, because it's real. We just because we are Christians, just because we walk in faith, just because we believe in Jesus Christ, does not put us above real life pain. And what I learned going through a real life situation was that I did not know how to handle real life pain. And just knowing scripture does not absolve what you're feeling, right?
Hmm.
So fast forward, I'm sitting in a Mother's Day brunch a few years ago, and I'm sitting there surrounded by everybody and their moms and their aunts and everybody, and I'm like, Lord, I do not want to come to another event and feel the way I'm feeling. And it doesn't take anything away from me being a mom, because I love being a mom,
Yeah.
but you still want your own mother here. And so the Lord gave this to me. He literally gave this to me. And He told me that there is a community that needs healing and needs help. And so I went back to school, got a master's degree. Whoop, whoop. I'm
Yeah.
smart. I got a
Let's
piece of
go.
paper that say I know something.
Right.
You know what I'm
Like
saying?
you know a little
It say
something. I got
I
you.
know a little bit of something.
Yeah.
I wanted to mix. I didn't want to just help people based on what I felt,
Hmm.
because our feelings aren't always accurate.
Right.
But I wanted to be able to take the word, make it applicable, but also add, academia from people who are way smarter than me, and just let people know that what you're feeling is real and valid. But let's put some tangible tools with it so that you can be healthy in this process.
Yeah.
So that's how we got here.
I got you. That's so funny that you mentioned that because that's one of the reasons why I actually went back to school. I have my master's in sports psychology. Been coaching for a long time, for at least
Yeah,
over 12 years. But it came to a point, it's like, what more can I offer these athletes? With
exactly.
training them do drills, things like that. That just always felt like some more, especially with the turn of mental health awareness. Speaking of which,
Mm,
this is Mental Health Awareness Month.
yeah.
But a lot of athletes that, I've seen from the time I started up to now, there's more of a mental thing going on. You know what I'm saying? There's
Hmm.
more mental pressure. There's more mental stress. There's anxiety to perform. There's anxiety
Yes.
because of the things that you lost, And it's just funny how both sides of the road equate to sports as well as life, So with that being said, with the different things that you went through with building Celebrate Still, if you were talking to a person that's dealing with grief, would dealing with grief just deal with death, or what are some other ways that you can go through grief? Grief.
So great question, and that's actually one of the things that's our mission, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is just to expand the lens of grief. So we're accustomed to talking about grief just because somebody has died. And it's like, okay, now this person has died, so now obviously I must be grieving. But grief is so big. There's so many different types of grief, so many situations that cause grief. There are different
Mm-hmm.
stages of grief. It's a whole big thing. And my goal is to really have these conversations. Let's change the conversations. Let's bring awareness. For example, divorce. You have this picture of what life looks like. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
goes into a marriage, and I'm speaking for myself. You don't go into a marriage thinking that I'm going to come out of it or I
Right.
have the option to leave. You go into it because this is your picture of forever, and then you have children. And when it doesn't end the way that it's supposed to,
Mm-hmm.
it ends prematurely. There's a grieving process. I will never forget when I got divorced from my kid's dad. After the judge like stamped the paper and hit the gavel,
Yeah.
and it was just like, okay, this is over.
Yeah.
And I literally collapsed on the floor of the courtroom,
Mm-hmm.
not really because I wanted to still be married to him, but I also didn't want to be divorced,
Mm-hmm.
So there's a grieving process that comes with that. And then there's a breaking of families. You
Yeah.
have people who lose their jobs. COVID showed us the pandemic. People lost their jobs, people lost income, and so now you're grieving because you had a way of living that you can't do anymore. You can't support your family the same way, so there's a grief that comes with that. There's grief that comes when you're taking care of a loved one that is still physically here,
Yeah.
but they're incapacitated, and so you're grieving the life that you used to have. So grief is so big. It's so big. And even thinking about our children as they transition to college, there's a period of adjustment that happens there where they
Yeah.
kind of still want to be in high school or they want to be
Mm-hmm.
home, but they also appreciate this newfound freedom. And
Right.
not every child handles it well, So having those conversations just makes it easier, and it really, just like your title, wants to see us better. Having those
Yeah.
conversations makes us better in the long run.
For
So yeah,
sure. For
it's
sure. For
the
sure.
big lens.
Yeah, the big lens, and it's always better to be able to see the whole big picture. Grief
Hmm.
is tough. Grief doesn't feel good. Um, we have to go through many transitions and many adjustments. Because of course, I've also gone through divorce, and you're talking about the splitting of the homes and things like that, and just a total new adjustment that's not just for the kids, but even for you that has to
Yeah,
happen. So
yeah,
but we appreciative of being able to still be able to adjust and stand firm. You know what I'm saying? And just be able to
yeah.
get through it. You know what I'm saying? So if you're I know you're a coach now. Kim's a coach, Coach Kimberly, the grief counselor. So with you doing grief counseling,
Mhm.
you coaching young men and even young ladies, and as you newly said that, being able to get into schools, what are some of the things that you see now dealing with mental health as comparison to like back then? What are some of the things that
Yeah.
we're so cognizant of now?
So the, the kids today are soft,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's just a softer generation. It's a more sensitive generation, a more aware,
Yeah.
or woke generation. Kids today would have never been able to make it when we were growing up, right?
Yeah.
Just whether it's right or wrong
For
doesn't
sure.
matter. Um, we were just built different. We were taught different. We were taught to take things on the chin. Um, you adjust and you keep going. Doesn't necessarily make it right.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of us now are paying good money to go lay on somebody's couch and talk about our problems.
Yeah. It's apps
Where
too.
our kids, you know what I'm saying? Where our kids today, they're more aware of
Mm-hmm.
everybody's feelings. So there's good and bad on both sides of the fence. One thing that I do notice, kids today, and I think it's because we're so sensitive to every single thing,
Yes.
we're kind of creating some issues.
Mm-hmm.
in kids today, we're causing anxiety, we're causing stress, we're causing frustrations and fears. So I speak every other week at an all girls school, right? And some of the girls there, some of the things that they're dealing with, it's just like, I want to say, that is just regular.
Right.
Like, go
It's
and
life.
be
Mm-hmm.
fine, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you can't. But we're making everything a thing, and sometimes things aren't a thing. You're not always going to be the best,
Right.
and that's okay.
That's
And
okay.
our job as adults is to tell our kids, hey, that's not for you.
Mm-hmm.
Try, enjoy, have fun, keep going if you want to, but
Yeah.
understand you're not going to be the best.
Right.
You're not going to be number one, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
What we're doing, and I'm saying just we in general,
Right.
we're telling kids you can be the best. You can go, and if you want to do that, you can.
Mm.
That might not be your kid's thing. And
Yeah.
so when they go out and they try and they don't succeed and they fail, now they're feeling anxiety and they're
Mm-hmm.
feeling depressed, and they're, when you're not being honest with your child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My son wanted to play basketball in school. Son, you don't multitask well. Being a student athlete is a different kind of
For
responsibility.
sure. Yeah, it is.
The MBA is not your end game. An engineering degree is your end game.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to do intramurals and you're going to go study.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of conversation that we had. I'm not doing him, I'm not being fair to him if I say, yes, son, go. You're a great basketball player. Go make the team. And then he fails and falls out of college.
Yeah.
That's not right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So what I see is some adults just not having honest conversations with kids,
Mm-hmm.
and I would love to see the narrative shift in those spaces. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that was a lot, but yeah.
That's great. And it's funny because it's almost like you have to allow, just like we did, you have to
Mhm.
allow failure to take place, you know,
Yes,
because if you never fail, you will never understand what you need to do. If you never fail, you don't cultivate
exactly.
those problem solving skills, you know, survival, if you
Yes,
will. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, this didn't work. So how do I do this? Maybe
you got to
to
get beat up
improve
once or
it.
twice.
Yeah, like to improve it, or as you
Hmm.
said, this may just not be it. I go,
Yeah,
we go through a lot of that as coaches, you know what I mean? Like having a kid or athlete in a position that they might not be suitable for, or having them, not be as good as they think they are, and again, that doesn't undermine
absolutely.
the aspect of work ethic and being able to get better. But those real conversations must be had, you know what I'm saying, to
Yes.
prevent that anxiety and prevent that disappointment, you know what I'm saying? But that was a
Mhm.
great response, man. Like that really
One
resonated with
one
me.
thing One thing, my youngest son, he's like a top tier athlete. He's great, right?
Yeah,
He's
Darren's the
he's
man.
good. So this year for basketball, I let him play up. So he's playing on the sixth grade team.
Okay.
He's still shining. He's still shining. He's holding
Mhm.
his own,
Yeah.
but he's getting beat up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm loving it. I'm
Yeah.
loving it. It's
Yeah.
so humbling. But
Mm-hmm.
we have to put our kids in those spaces. And when you find their thing,
Yep.
like, if you're not shining, if everybody you're playing against is is a little bit underneath of you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So let's put you a little bit above. So really finding those spaces and creating opportunities for either your child to figure out that this is your thing and let's push you to be better, or
Yeah.
this isn't your thing, let's pivot and adjust. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So what I hear
Hmm.
you saying is that adversity makes you better.
Absolutely, 100% of the
That's
time.
good. That's
100.
good. So you've been
We don't
mentioning
always
about you.
like adversity.
Yeah, you got to. So you've been
Yeah.
talking about your boys a lot. Shout out to DJ Derek and Darren. They're great young men, and
Yes.
I know you are a busy mom because all of them are in sports. or at one point, I know DJ's in college right now, but at one time, like everybody was doing something. How do you manage that?
A lot of coffee,
Mm-hmm.
um, and a little bit of sleep.
Yeah.
So DJ is basketball and track. Derek is football and track. Darian is basketball, football, track.
Okay.
And actually, today we're just coming from a tournament. He got a tournament tomorrow. Derek had a track meet yesterday. He got another one Tuesday. So it's
Yeah.
a lot of moving pieces. Um, how do I manage it all? Um, honestly, I don't know. I don't know. It's when it's time for registration, I write a check. Or
Mm-hmm.
now it's Zelle and Cash App or
That
whatever.
shit.
Um,
Yeah.
pay the registration fee, and I live, by a calendar. But each one of them, I'm so blessed because each one of them shines in whatever sport they're in. So
Yeah.
like Derek, I don't know if I think he was in an accident
Yeah.
November
Mm-hmm.
1st. And so they didn't even think that he was going to be able to regain like the motion of his foot,
Mm-hmm.
um, this soon. But he sent me a video a couple weeks ago. I knew he was going to the track meet. I did not know that he was going to be doing hurdles.
Mm-hmm.
And like he killed it. Like he killed it. So he's like the fifth fastest kid in the county.
Love it.
And I'm just like really, really, I'm really grateful. Like I was crying and everything. He was like, "What are you crying for?" I'm like, 2 months ago, 4 months ago, you could not walk
Yeah.
and literally jumping hurdles, like
Yeah.
literally jumping
Right.
hurdles. So I don't know. I enjoy it. They teach me about the sport, and so now like I can trash talk with the best of them.
Mm-hmm.
I understand football like to a T. I can call the plays. I can call all of the things. I know
Okay.
what's happening. So
Okay.
like it pays to be invested in what your kids are invested in.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I like
Sports
it.
mom. So I have another question.
Hmm?
So did you know how much did you know about sports before they got into sports?
So football in high school, I had a crush on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what I knew about football in high school was that I wanted to wear his jersey, and that was it. And then if I wore his jersey, that meant I was his girlfriend, and everybody would know.
Nothing about
Um,
football, mind you, y'all.
that has everything. That is the most important part of football. What?
I
Wearing
got
his
you.
jersey? I still know his number.
Hey.
Um, I'm not gonna say it though, because then everybody gonna know who my high school crush was. Let's see. Um, basketball, I have a little bit more IQ in
Mm-hmm.
basketball. Shout out Lisa Leslie, that's my auntie. Woo-hoo. First woman to dunk in the
Mm-hmm.
WNBA. Ah! So my basketball knowledge is a little better, but
Mm-hmm.
even with that, like they literally have taught me the game. They've been playing football since they were 6 and 7, and so now they're 18 and 19. So they have like taught me the game. Basketball, they are yeah. I knew like this much, and
Yeah.
now I can probably like coach a little bit. I can coach a little bit. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Get you a
Yeah.
get you a little rec team. Get you a
Give
little
me a
I-9
Lloyd, you know
team.
what I'm saying? I
Okay.
can do an
Okay.
I-9 team. I can do
Yeah.
an I-9 or a little league.
Yeah. I see.
I can
Crazy
do
thing.
it.
I can see you trying that too, Kim.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
so
I
so
might.
we might need to make that happen. If you in
I might.
Baltimore and you need a little league coach, y'all
Call
better
me.
look up Kim.
I got you. I got you.
That's what's up.
I got
How
you.
would
Yeah.
you say your approach as a mom having athletes? You know, how do you feel your part as a mom took place in their lives as athletes?
My job, one, I think is really funny that I have boys,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I'm probably the girliest boy mom there is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, like all of my outfits are coordinated. I'm wearing makeup to the games.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's for me to have sons is just crazy.
You got
Um,
them bedazzled
how
shirts with they emblem
yes,
on there.
all the things,
I
their
got you.
names, their numbers. You know me, like I have the hat with their names on it,
Yeah, for
like all
sure.
the things.
Gotta represent.
Um, You know what I'm saying? But I'm also like, if they got the ball, if they running down the field, I'm running
Mm-hmm.
down the sideline,
Yeah.
jumping over. How important is it for me to be involved? I feel like whatever they're a part of,
Mm-hmm.
I need them to know that there is nobody until they get married, and then it's going to be the wife, whatever. Boo.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nobody that's going to cheer louder for you than me. Like,
For sure.
if this is your thing, um and this is for the most part, like they've all found their thing, whatever it is, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to all in.
Yeah.
So literally, like, all of my parents on the football team, they know when my son gets the ball, move, because I'm running. I'm running on the sideline. If he's running to the end zone, I'm running to the end zone. If we're on the court and he's running down, like, I'm literally running back and forth. I am always going to be the loudest person, the loudest cheerleader. And so that's why it's really important for me to even understand the game, because
Yeah.
I want to be able to give feedback at the end. And sometimes that feedback looks like, son, you were a little sloppy with the ball, and that's why you got pulled out, or that's why your coach put you on the bench. I'm not the parent that's going to the coach like, why you not playing my son? My son, da 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 da.
Thank
Okay,
you.
what does my son need to work on so that his playtime can increase? Like, I'm having those
Yes.
conversations. And
Yes.
so, in order to properly advocate for my child, I need to have knowledge on what to say in those conversations. And
Yes.
so, I am all in. So, to parents watching, don't be that mom that's like, play my son because my son, I came here to see my son play, and da da da.
Yeah.
And I know when my son is at home, he can slam dunk the ball and he can throw and da 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 da. It's different on the court. It's different in game time.
Yeah.
Learn the sport. Learn the sport. Learn what they're supposed to do. Learn about their position. Learn how they're supposed to move. So when you're advocating for your child, if your child is not being treated properly according to you,
Mm-hmm.
you know what to say to the coach, and you can take that feedback, and your coach tell you, he need to tighten up on defense, or he shies away from contact. You know what to have, how to talk to your child, and how
Yeah.
to navigate those spaces. So
Yeah.
yeah, we
Parents,
all in,
moms, and
all in.
dads. Yeah, I hope y'all taking this in consideration.
Oh my
Cause
gosh, especially the
you
dad,
have no idea. You have no idea. But you
especially
do
the
have
dad.
some good parents out there that do what
Hmm.
you do. I know I've been, blessed to be able to meet some wonderful parents, that even our relationship with the coaching relationship even transcends off the field. You know what I mean? That those connections were great. Um, I want to bounce back to your celebrate still because you have that
Yeah,
coming up. Okay.
yes, my
Um,
front.
tell everybody about your brunch, where it's going to be, how they can sign up, register, or all that good stuff.
All the good things. So, um, let's see. First, follow me on social media. Instagram is hey.40, hey.forty,
Mm-hmm.
or at Celebrate Still. Facebook is at Celebrate Still. Twitter, or now X, is Celebrate Still.
Yeah.
So follow me on social media. Um, the brunch is coming up. It's next Saturday, May the 10th. Doors open at 11. I think I have like 12 vendors. I have a line dance instructor coming. Um,
Nice.
we're going to have some great conversations. I have some panelists that are going to talk about their experience that they've actually gone through group with me.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to talk about their experience, what made them choose group over going to a private therapist, because it's a
Yeah.
little different, coaching and therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do that. We're going to have fun. Some amazing food. The food is sponsored by KDW Catering.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Dessert buffets sponsored by Mimi's Treats. It's a whole experience. And that's how I know that this is what God has called me to, because
Mm-hmm.
every ask that I've put out to businesses when I explain the vision, they've all said yes, with open arms. So
Love it.
if you don't already have a ticket, you want to get a ticket because you want to be in the building. We got some amazing giveaways. I have some Ravens tickets that we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
be auctioning
Come on,
off.
Ravens fans, let's go. Y'all better get
I'm
on
saying,
that.
like, it's some good stuff happening. It's some good stuff
Yeah.
happening.
I'm
So
in I'm in Browns and
yeah,
Steeler country. Every time I talk about the
I,
Ravens here, they want to crucify me.
I have somebody in my house likes the Steelers.
Oh
One of
no.
them.
It's all
Yeah,
good.
somebody
No
does.
love lost.
Somebody does.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No love lost. We still love him anyway. But
I guess.
yeah.
Can't get rid of.
That's what's up though. So y'all heard it. Listen, go support Celebrate Still. If you're
Yeah.
in Baltimore, I'm sure that at some point the movement is growing so big. There may be some virtual stuff coming along for just to go countrywide, worldwide, whatever. But stay
Yes.
locked. She just gave.
Speak it. Speak it. Speak it. Speak it.
Yes, yes, yes. So y'all stay locked on Kim's Instagram, all her social media
Yeah.
contacts, because it's been a good thing that's been happening. And as I said earlier, we want to make sure that we not just seeing y'all go through, but we want to see y'all overcome. You
I
know what
want to
I'm
go
saying?
with you. I want to go through with you and pull you out to the other side because there is joy. I always say the worst thing that happened to me was losing my mom, but
Mm-hmm.
the best thing that happened to me
Mm-hmm.
was losing my
Yeah,
There's really evidence of all things work together for the good of
for
them who
sure.
love God and who are called according to His purpose.
Yeah.
Had I not experienced that, I mean, she coddled me. You know what I mean? So her leaving, although as painful as it was, it just forced me to really step into my own and even learn
Yes.
God in a different way, um, and really stand in my own faith and develop my own relationship with Him. So you know what I'm saying? Adversity definitely brings triumph. So,
Yes, yes, yes. I just actually posted a quote. It says, "What if the worst that happened to you could be the best that did happen to you?" So we
yes,
never know how situations are going to play itself out. Although it hurts for you, it may be life to somebody else. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
So, Kim, thank you for coming on. I got one more thing. So again, it's Mother's Day. I need you to
Yep.
drop a nugget of something that you would like to share with the mothers before we head off.
So happy Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all of the moms, married, single moms, bonus moms, grandmothers, aunties, step in moms, step up moms, whatever. If you are in that role, happy Mother's Day to you. What do I want to say to moms? I will say being a mom is the most rewarding job ever. It's also the hardest job ever. And what I want to say to you is to give yourself grace. There are some days I go to bed and I feel like, man, I really effed that up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I dropped the
Yeah.
ball. I didn't show up for my kid the way I feel like I should have, or maybe I snapped when I should have pulled him in close and hugged him a little bit, or maybe I fussed and because we were running late, whatever, and that weighs on you. Give yourself grace. You're not perfect. They're not perfect. We're all figuring it out.
Yeah.
Go to bed. Wake up. Tomorrow is a new day. Go give your baby a kiss and a hug. They're going to love you with the same intensity that they did the day before. They're not holding it against you, so don't
Mm-hmm.
hold it against yourself. Go get your nails done, your hair done, go to your favorite restaurant. Give yourself grace. Go love on your kids, go do something fun, and try again tomorrow.
Yeah, I
That's it.
love it. I love it. So listen, guys and gals, she gave y'all some good stuff. Again, Kim, I appreciate you being on
I
here.
love you.
Glad to do it. And I love you. Hopefully get to see you soon. Hopefully be going home
I
soon.
know.
And we going, see y'all link up and everything, man. So,
You
you know,
should be coming home for Mother's Day because your mother is here.
for sure. See, I'm not gonna let that out the bag yet. So hopefully she won't see this podcast. So you can't say nothing. Okay. So if you're watching this, don't say nothing. All right. But listen, knowing her, she gonna be one of the first ones to comment on it once it air. But
Of course, 'cause that's what we do. Look at my baby.
it's all good. So listen, again, mothers, happy Mother's Day. Enjoy yourselves, pamper yourselves, children. Do something good for your mom. You know, it's the least that you can do. And
Take out the trash. Take out the trash. That's what we want y'all to do. We
take
want
out.
y'all to take out the trash.
See, I
That's
love
what
I
we want.
love the simplicity. I
Take
love
it
the
out
simplicity.
and take a shower and put some deodorant on. That's
Mm-hmm.
all we want. That's
Yeah,
all we want.
I hear
Yeah.
that. All right, well, we gonna get you back sooner than later to recap on see how that celebrate still went. All right,
Absolutely. I
appreciate you.
love you.
Love you too. All right, guys. So we had a great conversation with Kim. Listen, I just want to see you better. That's all. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to this podcast. And again, I appreciate you signing in on with us. All right. God bless.